Gadgets and Gizmos brought to you by Accenture, high performance delivered.
Welcome back, you're watching the Gadgets and Gizmos show with me, Siddharth Sharma. Now, entry-level smartphones are heating up the Indian market space right now, and technology companies are taking that segment really seriously. We saw what Moto E did to the Indian consumers. It was out of stock within hours of its availability on an online e-commerce website. And now it's got a competitor to it from an Indian company, Lava. Yes, we're talking about the all-new Lava Iris X1. And up next on the show, Sahil Maniktala gets you the entire lowdown on that. Take it away, Sahil.
Yes, Siddharth, Lava have just come out with their answer to the Moto E. Meet the all-new Lava Iris X1, which is very competitively priced at 8,000 rupees. But the question is, does the X1 actually have the X factor? And can it actually exceed the very high expectations set by the Moto E? Well, next up, we find out just that.
The Lava Iris X1 certainly does not feel like a 8,000 rupees phone. It's sturdy, well put together and looks like a premium quality device. Yes, the X1 takes its design cues from the iPhone, but if you are going to borrow, then you might as well borrow from the best. The sides of the phone are silver colored with metallic finish that blends well with the overall look. The plastic back cover is easily removable, and underneath you will find dual SIM slots and a micro SD slot. Power button is placed on the right, volume rockers on the left, micro USB port and 3.5mm audio jack are on the top. The 4.5-inch IPS display sports a decent resolution of 854 by 480, which is lower than the resolution on the Moto E. The sensitivity of the display could have been better, as there were occasional lags while shifting between screen views. However, the X1 has good viewing angles and color reproduction is pretty accurate as well.
The one area in which the X1 undoubtedly defeats the Moto E is in its camera department. This phone sports an 8-megapixel rear camera with autofocus and LED flash, which manages to produce some pretty decent photos in both daylight and low light conditions. Unlike the Moto E, which didn't come with a front-facing camera at all, this one comes with a 2-megapixel front-facing camera, which is average at best and won't give you the best video calls, but at least you'll get a couple of decent selfies with it.
In terms of specification, the Lava Iris X1 is at par with the Moto E. The stock Android 4.2.2 KitKat phone houses a Broadcom quad-core chipset clocked at 1.2 GHz. There is also 1 GB of RAM and 4 GB of internal storage, which is expandable up to 32 GB via micro SD slot. However, performance-wise, the X1 is no match for the Moto E. While the Moto E gave a seamless user experience, the X1 did lag from time to time, especially if there were too many apps running in the background. The X1 handles casual games like Angry Birds and Subway Surfer well enough. But don't expect more graphic-intensive games like Asphalt 8 or Dead Trigger 2 to run very smoothly on this device. The 1800 mAh battery gave a decent enough performance and managed to last for a day without having to charge. Connectivity-wise, the dual SIM smartphone supports both 2G and 3G. Plus, you also get Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, USB and GPS.
So if you're looking to get a better-looking Android phone with a better camera than the Moto E, then the Lava Iris X1 isn't a bad option at all. But when it comes to user experience, the Moto E is still undoubtedly the heavyweight champion of the budget-friendly phones. But being a close second isn't that bad either.
Wow, is it just me or the Lava Iris X1 looks like an iPhone, but is a budget smartphone? Well, anyways, keeping to the theme of budget smartphones, we've also got one more smartphone from the house of HTC that is in a budget. And up next on the show, we get you a review of the all-new HTC Desire 310.
HTC is planning to be aggressive in the Indian market and is launching smartphones in a budget. The new HTC Desire 210 is out for an amazing price tag of 8,700. But there is one more HTC smartphone that is catching some attention. Meet the HTC Desire 310. HTC Desire 310 dual SIM smartphone has a design line that is simple and sturdy. At 140 grams, it is not that bulky and comes with a removable back panel and battery. Up front, it has a glossy plastic that serves as a casing for the 4.5-inch display. There's a metallic earpiece grill located above the display that gives this smartphone some character. The removable back cover sports a matte finish. Overall, there is nothing unique when it comes to the look of Desire 310. HTC Desire 310 Dual SIM sports a 4.5-inch FWVGA display. It is a low-priced smartphone, so there is no wow factor that the display has to offer. The brightness levels are low and the viewing angles are also not that great. Overall, the display is not that crisp when it comes to reading text or watching videos. Desire's 310's camera has nothing much to talk about. The 5-megapixel rear camera is fixed focus, and also there is an absence of LED flash. The images captured usually come out grainy, dull and shaky. For selfie lovers, the VGA front-facing camera is off-putting and can be used for video chats at best. Camera is one of the weak points of the Desire 310 Dual SIM. HTC Desire 310 Dual SIM is powered by a 1.3 GHz MediaTek MT6582M processor with Mali 400MP graphics backed by 512MB RAM. The smartphone offers optimum performance and has few hiccups if you open too many apps. There are not many lags while navigation through the phone's menu, launching apps and switching between them, but it could have been so much more smoother than what it is. HTC Desire 310 Dual SIM runs on Android 4.2.2 and HTC has skinned the interface of the phone with HTC Sense 5.1. Desire 310 features the blink feed which is seen on the high-end HTC smartphones. The Desire 310 comes with a 2000 mAh battery. Now if you keep the screen brightness to the maximum and 3G on all the time, you will still get a good 1.5 days of battery on this one. Battery is one of the strong points of HTC Desire 310 Dual SIM. With a display not that great and a camera that does not have a flash, and finally with such less RAM to put the last nail in the coffin, the Desire 310 is just an average budget smartphone. Although it has the potential to be a serious rival to Moto G with a price tag of just 11,700. But if you spend 1,300 more of your hard-earned money, you could get the 8GB version of Moto G or the Micromax Canvas Turbo Mini, which are better than what the HTC Desire 310 Dual SIM has to offer.
And with that, it's time for us to say goodbye on this edition of Gadgets and Gizmos show. If you have any queries, comments or suggestions, tweet us at HLT Gizmos. You can also email us on htgg@aajtak.com. We'll see you same time, same place next week, but for all the news and updates, keep watching Headlines Today.
Gadgets and Gizmos brought to you by Accenture. High performance delivered.